Welcome, race fans, to the Memory Lane Eldora Dirt Derby here in the Smokin Gobbler Truck Series, race number 4 of the series. 11 races in, and then we will go about getting into the playoff system. Eldora Speedway, a half-mile dirt racing facility located in Rossburg, Ohio. The Big E is owned by the 3-time NASCAR champion Tony Stewart, the Indiana native. Joining me today is David Huckleberry, bringing you these wonderful views up here in the sky. He's up in the helicopter right now, showing you the speedway as they are qualifying right now. We'll have about a minute left to go in qualifying, and then we'll be able to get underway for tonight's race. Also joining me today is Harrison Taillon, our lovely and always talented Harrison Taillon, our co-commentator. Again, this is a dirt racetrack. So this is always going to provide some interesting thought for some of these drivers. Who is going to be the driver that is, as you would say, almost like a dirt specialist, or specialty driver that will come in and dominate tonight's race? Harrison, you've raced on dirt. I don't think you and I would literally say that we could be the dirt specialist, but there are certainly drivers out here that circled this track knowing that this is a place where they can get a victory overall in the season, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. This is a huge opportunity for drivers who, might not be the greatest on some asphalt or concrete, but they really exceed here in these tricky and slippery conditions on dirt. So it's going to be real interesting to see who these drivers that are going to be up front, which one of them are actually going to be, dirt specialists. And we're going to see where, the rest of the field play out compared to them, especially some of our top drivers so far this season.
Absolutely. Well, qualifying just ended here, so we're going to go ahead and give it over to David once we get the lineup pulled up, which we just have, and he will go over our tonight's qualifying list before they get underway here.
All right, starting on the pole tonight is Shane Therian, R.C. Enerson in second, Scott Crump third, Latham Joyner, rookie, in fourth, Alex Van de Zandt fifth, Tyler Fode sixth, Brad Herman, another rookie, in seventh, Drake Berry, a rookie, in eighth, Robert Hill Jr. in ninth, Mark Murphy in 10th, Jake Finch 11th, Ethan Stanley in 12th, Alec Balavans, Wesley Crump, Sam Boutwell, Andrew Hardcastle, Sean Ryan, Michael Hosack, Cole Mickrut, and Nathan Mon round out the top 20. Tom Bourne, Leighton Nordgaard, Tynan Jones, Cody McCorkle to the 24. Josh Freed, Cash James, David Childhouse, Jake Roll, our rookie points leader, in 28th. Jeff No, Kendall Noah player, Michael Klein, Matthew Weeks, Josh Hodges, and Tyler Dixon. I believe that rounds out the field. I think we have 34 starters for.
Well, just as many drivers that think that they're dirt specialists, there's just as many drivers thinking that the only place on the track they feel comfortable will probably be pit road, which is the only part of asphalt on this racetrack. As soon as they leave off of pit road, they will be going onto that dirt. There shouldn't be a need for them to come back down pit road, so all the drivers hope that they stay on the dirt for the rest of the night. There will be 100 laps with a halfway yellow, unlimited set of tires, but those don't really affect your vehicle on the dirt as you would see in asphalt. But real quickly, we're going to pull up the point standings here before these trucks go off onto the racetrack, give you an idea of what we've seen so far in the first 3 races. Right now, I believe it was Ethan Burrell, tied in the points lead right now with one of our rookie drivers, Jake Roll there. Both of those drivers have 95 points. Why that's important is the points lead is gets you a little bit extra credit, I believe, at the end of the season. But mainly where it really matters is all the way down there in the 14th position. Top 14 make it into the chase. So that is where the battles will start to come. Right now it's nice and close. Some of these drivers may feel comfortable coming here tonight, and some of them may look to just try to survive so that way they can keep in distance of that 14th place battling spot for the points to get in. Right now, looks like the trucks are back onto the track here, so we'll have one more lap around before they get going green. Looks like Shane Therian's going to lead us off tonight, and R.C. Anderson showing that it doesn't matter if it's a road course, a mile and a half, a 2-mile track, or dirt. He's always going to end up starting up in the front row. So definitely interested to see how R.C. Anderson does tonight, as he is a IndyCar driver in real life. Interested to see if he had any dirt experience before this, but we'll find out here. Looks like the pace car will be coming off. Well, we are about to get under green where the racing gets good and the good gets racing. Let's slip and slide and see who comes out on top tonight. Shane Therian gets out to a very decent start, but R.C. Anderson trying to wrap around the high side and see if he can get up going. And already a caution before the fireworks even stop shooting off. There's already a caution here, so let's see if we can go back and figure out what happened there. Yeah, Sam Batwell, that's oof. Few trucks got hit pretty hard. That's kind of what we saw in real life at Bristol
Wow.
there. Yeah, a few drivers got involved in that. But something we saw in Bristol there when Daniel Suarez got loose, it just came back in front of the track and just collected up a few trucks there. Unfortunately, some of those trucks might have terminal damage. Now, I will say that for some reason, iRacing has these trucks a lot more durable on the dirt. I say for whatever reason. You see what the reason is, because they will beat the heck out of them if it's on a wall or on another vehicle. But some of those drivers may look like they may be out of the race, but don't tune out just yet. They may still have a chance. I have finished some races without a lot of the body panels in some of these dirt races and still had a very good finish. So it's crazy what no aerodynamic track looks like, and whenever it's more about throttle control than actually what panels are on the vehicle. Some of those drivers may still have a chance to be able to have a decent finish for the rest of the night. Looks like they'll be lining back up here. I think they'll be going, green next time by, or is it this time by? Let's see. Looks like next time by. So Harrison, real quickly, it didn't get very many laps. If you're further in the back of the pack, I mean, is there any way to avoid some of these wrecks? You see them sliding around.
No, it's really hard, to be honest with you, because you're out of control yourself, and you're out of control, but you're still in control. If you know what I mean. For like dirt standards, you're always going to be sideways on the track, so you pitched it to the left, and your wheel is going right and stuff. And going back and forth right to make sure that everything is straight and everything's good as we're back green. But no, it's really impossible, to be honest with you, because you're already sideways as is, and you have to make such fine wheel movements to get right past the wreck. So and then you got all the other drivers around you as well.
Well, so far we got a three-way battle for the lead.
Wow, what a move!
Rocketed himself all the way on the outside lane there. He's already found a groove up high and has found himself now in the lead of this truck race, showing that he wants to be the one to pass and have control of the pace from here on out. That's usually what you hear in these dirt races is pace. The lead driver gets to really set the pace, how fast it goes, because essentially where the fastest guy will go onto the racetrack usually is intentive for where the fastest groove on these dirt races. So as you see them up high, you'll eventually see everyone trying to run up high. A lot of good battling going on back there and around the 9th and 10th position, as they are really going three wide, trying to slide job each other to get to that high side. Like I said, they see that R.C. Anderson just took the lead up on that high end. They know that's where the grip is at right now until it gets worn down. So all these drivers are going to try to see if they can slide themselves up to be able to complete the passes and get themselves into that faster groove.
You're absolutely right. As the run goes on, this is the most in control, I guess you could say, these trucks will be throughout the entire night and through a run. Is at the start of a run, because this track, as you know, as it wears and it develops, as the trucks continue to drive on it and slip and slide lap after lap, they pat it down and it creates like a sheen. It creates a shine on the track, and it's like ice. There's no grip at all. So if you can really hammer down how to drive the track when it gets to those types of conditions, you have a really good shot towards the end of the race to actually win the thing.
Well, you see a couple drivers already starting to tap the wall. That's going to be a very easy thing to see.
Oh!
Tyler Fody gets hit. Oh, drivers start to bump up. That will be our next caution right there, as it looks like we've got about 5 or 6 trucks. One got sent down pit road there a little bit. Just one of those moves where I was just about to say to you, and I'm glad this happened before I got it out, because it would have made me look like a liar here. And I was just about to say, these drivers are really being self-aware of these trucks and not running into each other, and then this happens. So, just what you see there, 03 tries to check up, trying not get further into Fody, gets himself sideways, and that is where they start sliding into each other. And you're wondering, as we said multiple times, they're out of control. You'd be wondering, why don't they just hit the brakes so they don't slam to the driver in front of them? Well, you can't hit the brakes here and just stop. It doesn't stop. Imagine if you were going and you're hydroplaned over water, you can't just stop. It's just gonna slide on top of the water. It's the same thing with the dirt. The tires don't grip as well as it would on asphalt. As you see on board here with Andrew Hardcastle, one of our rookie drivers that's pretty well up there in points. He gets involved in this, as there's just nowhere to go for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, you said it completely correct. It's so hard to stop. And if you do brake, hard enough, and you basically just pound the brakes down, and you're going to lock up the rear tires and you're going to spin out yourself. So you also have to keep in mind about that, and it's really tough. So a few competitors there just had the unfortunate possible end to their night, but they should pretty much keep going in my eyes, I think.
Now, none of those drivers look like they had a hard enough hit, but what we do see here is that with no pitting essentially happening, they're going to speed up these cautions. So next time around, we'll actually be going green, because we're already 16 laps into this 100-lap race. This will go by very quickly, and if we have any trucks at the end of it, you'll have to stay tuned to find out, as we had a pretty decent run there. I'm hoping that we can continue that, but as the laps will run down, these drivers and their attempts to try to get to the front will be a little bit more extreme as they go along, as the green flag will be going back out for R.C. Anderson. He gets out to a very good start. He decided to choose the high lane there, as that was what got him to the lead. Oh, you see Scott Crump trying to clear himself to get to the high side, and does right in front of the 97. Almost put the 97 into the wall a little bit there, and that just shows you how much those drivers are wanting to get to that high side lane quickly. But what we will see here eventually is that high side lane will start to lose its luster. It will start to slow down, and that's when we'll start seeing drivers starting to use multiple lanes. But as of right now, with how the grip is, they are all going to be wrapping around that high side for the time being. But right now, it looks like we have about a 4-car breakaway, 5-car breakaway. R.C. Anderson just broke away from everybody. But, right now, we're going to see these drivers starting to try to figure out an experiment here, like you see with Fody in that white car right there, white truck there. Is he going to be able to complete a pass and look for other spots on the racetrack to be able to get the grip? And that's when you'll start seeing drivers starting to go a little bit lower down onto the racetrack.
Absolutely. It's really tough because you want to stay on that cushion right there as the 93 gets a little piece of the wall. Or the 03, sorry. I apologize. But yeah, it's so hard. You have to stay in a fine line there.
Car upside down. Multiple cars. I think it was a lap car got involved in a wreck, and there was a car flipping going into the turn. It was an orange truck, I believe. There it is. He got loose and hit the inside wall, came back up the racetrack, and just got slammed.
Nowhere for
Oh, Alec
Balvans to go.
Baldwin's. Looks like Alec Baldwin's blew his engine. The 20 there has blown his engine as well. I believe that was David Showhouse there. Just has a blown engine from that. Ooh. Yeah,
Ooh.
that was a hard hit for sure. As he'll be cleaning dirt out from all crevices of both the truck and his body for a week, I believe, after going for a slide in the dirt like that. Still getting hit.
A unique view of Eldora.
Yeah, that is the track right there. You see, there is still dirt on the racetrack. Well, they will start to clump back up real quickly. I want to give it over to David here, and he's going to give us our sponsor shout-outs for tonight's races. There won't be much time for him to get all of them, but we'll split them up as we go.
Okay, we'll get the race sponsor tonight is Memory Lanes. Memory Lanes is in the heart of Athens, Wisconsin, a historic building with a modern-day touch, a place where young and old come together. What truly gives Memory Lanes its character, though, is owner and operator Randy Big Balls Walters. So he's our race sponsor for tonight.
Absolutely, and then eventually we'll more likely have another caution. We'll be able to get some of those others in. Again, it's a quick race. We're already 1/4 of the way through, and once these drivers start seeing these laps count down, you're going to see them really trying to make these passes work out. So right now, it looks like R.C. Anderson's got the run of the field, able to get out to another couple truck length lead there. Scott Crump not able to clear to the outside like he had done the previous restart. So now he will be passed for second by the 03 of Joyner there.
Contact.
Oh, it looks like St. Theory and our pole sitter.
Oh no, it's
around.
Bodie.
Oh. Still piling in.
There's a lot of O's and oohs going on as there's SpaghettiOs all over the racetrack. As there is some carnage into turn 3 and 4. As it looks like our pole sitter there, Shane Therian, may have just gotten touched by Fody. Fody locked up his tires a little bit. He got turned around by the driver behind him. And then from there, just more trucks involved.
Wow.
Just hard to stop on dirt.
It is incredibly hard. I want to take notice as well of look at the line that's already been made up there towards the top. Everybody has been using the top all night, and it looks starting to pack down and get a nice shine to it. So look out for the bottom to be more prominent here on this next run.
Well, they need to have some more green flag runs to really wear in that outside lane there. And we're just having so many cautions. St. Therian, I think, is going to call it done for the night. It looks like he's got too much engine damage. So horrible run there for St. Therian after qualifying on pole. Looked like he was just trying to get a good run in. And now we'll have to try to work out of a hole from Eldora and figure of speech, dig his way out of it and see if he can go on to the next one, which I believe is going to be a road course next week. So we just keep throwing curveballs at these truck drivers. Hopefully you'll be able to tune in with us, as it looks like we're going to be going back green once again. It looks like R.C. Anderson, once he's choosing the outside here, and it looks like they'll be going green, and they do. R.C. Anderson has had the run of the place. He's been able to get out to such a big lead that there's just not been enough laps for any drivers behind him to really get a run on him. As we get a new driver in just a second, and taps the wall as he does so.
Alec Balvans, he was in the wreck prior to the last one, and he seems to still have a good truck under him. Still got a lot of pace in that 5 truck. So, and he is one that actually thrives on this type of racing. He's said it himself numerous occasions, and everybody has said it themselves as well, that, you know, Alec Balvans is a real threat when it comes to dirt racing. You know, he may not be the best on, you know, the asphalt compared to these other guys, but when he gets a specialty track in here, he'll make the most of it. So he's in the top 5 right now and has a really good run going so far.
I wonder if there's a correlation between dirt racing and road course racing, because both the two drivers up front are well known for their road course prowess, and they are showing it some car control tonight as they are both running up front. 97 probably doesn't have much of a side, as I've seen him hit the wall a few times, and you see him dragging that rear bumper against the wall, but is slowly starting to catch up on R.C. Anderson. So R.C. Anderson's going to have to keep note. A little bit of wall drag, it seems to be helping, as a caution is back out once again.
That's Sam Batwell.
Sam Batwell going slow. I think he might have blown an engine or something. Maybe he couldn't get going, so he might have just tried to come to a stop. And unfortunately caused a yellow for that.
Well, that'd be a good time to do a couple sponsors. We'll do our premier partners. We'll do start with TA Services. For over 36 years, TA Services has been a trusted domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider, offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing, and fulfillment, and cross-border logistics services to shippers around the globe. TA Services moves what matters to you. Let the TA Services team make ship happen for you. Second one is Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses. For small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And finally, Brixi Cam. Brixi is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston. They're on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. Gone are the days of carrying around a tripod or a selfie stick. They help their customers and users tell better stories around meaningful moments. They let anyone tap into nearby cameras to capture group memories at iconic places as if users were controlling their own native camera app, except now from a perfectly positioned vantage point. Today you can find Brixi at well-known sports venues and cultural landmarks across 4 continents.
Oh, well, glad we got that in, because it looks like they'll be going back green this time by. If you were wondering what the yellow numbers and white numbers were meaning, any driver on the with a yellow number on the side of the little ticker right there, those are drivers that are rookies this season. Kind of like what you would see in the regular NASCAR real life series with the back bumper being yellow. Instead, we just make them have a little yellow number in the ticker, so that way you can tell who's a rookie driver and who's running for it. Well, right now we have 21 drivers on the lead lap as we get back going green. Attrition starting to play a factor, as we've already got quite a few drivers out of the race with too much damage on their vehicle, and still got quite a bit of laps left before the end of this, as it looks like R.C. Anderson once again able to get going. Oh, some bumping going by him back there. Looks like the 12 got into the back of the 03. Looks like Fody down there in the 8th position trying to make that bottom lane work. As you see, the 63 starting to try to slide up in front of drivers. They are getting desperate out there to try to gain the spots. There will be a halfway yellow. So right now you see Fody trying to wrap around that bottom, doing a pretty good job. As we stated, that high side lane starting to lose a little bit of its speed. Still quite a bit up there as they go right now, but there's still a lot of slipping and sliding as you start seeing it essentially slicking out.
Oh,
5 got into the wall a little bit there of Alec Ballbands.
It's a lot more dangerous to run it on the outside now, I would say. Look at how fine of a line they have to run. That right rear right on the cushion, the edge of the cushion there. That little bit of darker dirt right there, that's our cushion. And, you know, you want to put your right rear right under that, maybe just touching it. Good save by Balvans. And then that left front needs to be right on where that little sheen is right there to give a good turn to the car.
Cody was turned around, now up to 7th place. Alec Ballvance just trying to catch his breath after nearly getting turned there a few times, but he's letting the train go around on the outside there, as it looks like Weeks, Hardcastle, and I believe that's the 91 or 92 of Stanley. Yeah, they all 3 drivers take a drive around the 5 car there, all getting themselves into the top 10. So good battling overall, as there's still some battling going on, as a caution is out once again. I'm trying to see if we can get an idea of where. I don't see any vehicles around. I think that's Kendall Noah player there in the 94.
55 no hits him in the side. He was the one who just was asked to drop to the back for blinking. So you're not usually planning to have to purposely drop back during race.
No, not usually. And unfortunately for him, that's going to put him a lap down from that, too. So he's trying to drop back, and he went back all right. He went backwards on the racetrack. So luckily for him, though, it didn't hit anything too hard, so he'll be able to keep going here. But what that does do is it kind of sets us up to where we're going to have kind of like a little shootout for the 50 lap mark.
You saw Alec Balvan struggle a lot when he got to the bottom. It's a lot flatter down there compared to where these guys were running up top. So you got progressive banking around the entire racetrack. So, I mean, obviously a flatter surface cannot be on the throttle, you know, as long as you want to be compared to what it would be on a little bit higher of banking. So he was struggling a lot there with rear tire grip and keeping it under control. That's why he lost a few of those positions as soon as he went down there. It was like he was dropping like a rocket.
Now you're looking at some of these vehicles as we go through the field. We're in the top 5, and they're already looking like they've had some carnage. Fody missing on most of this side. They're all scraped up, hood all buckled up. Wig still looks like he has a pretty decent truck underneath him. It doesn't look like he's hit the wall too hard. But yeah, they've already looking like they've gotten some battle scars on them as it's been hard going early on in this race as we still trying to get to the halfway point. Looks like they'll be lining them up again to go green. R.C. Anderson and Alex van der Sant will be leading the field from the front row. Green flag back out. R.C. Anderson once again gets himself out to about 2 or 3 truck length lead going into turn 1 and 2. New battler for the second position there. It looks like the 03 Joiner getting the high side rolling really well for him and is able to easily pass the 97, then taps the wall and gets Alex van der Sant right back to his back bumper. There's just that amount of just being able to push just enough to get the speed and not go over has been very difficult line to follow as you're on board with the 03. Oh, 97 getting to the back of him a little bit. We do have a caution, though. That will end our run for the lap 50 caution. So our top 10 there will be awarded stage points. Back here with a player and a couple of these other drivers back here. Oh, 76. Jake Finch around. Oh, there's already people turned around up in front of him, actually. Oh. Man, they're just... It looks like 76 is going to have a blown engine from that. I think I'd feel safer at a bowling alley if even as a pin than any of these trucks out here tonight. Looks like Cash James there in the 93 turned around, got a little loose, and he didn't get too much damage from that, but damage is done for some of those other drivers. He will be tallied with the fault. Well, we are whittled down to only 20 drivers on the lead lap now out of 34, so I was kind of joking there if we're going to have trucks at the end of this, but if things keep going as they are right now, as our leader almost got taken out by a lap car trying to get his wave around, then that means something.
I would have really added some fireworks there. It could have been real interesting. I might have wanted to see how that would have played out.
Crazier things have been going on in the NFL today. We could have seen that happen, and we would have chalked it up to how things have just been today. Crazier things have happened, but it looks like R.C. Anderson will be able to still be the leader without any damage. Still one of the cleanest trucks, and for his point, he took the lead early on and has not looked back as the green flag is back out, and it looks like R.C. Anderson gets himself once again out to around a 4 or 5 truck length lead going into turn 3 here. Well, that's a view right there. A very dusty view, but that is a view to show you all these drivers digging going into turn 3. As we have some really good battles going on for 3rd and 4th place right there, as it looks like some of the drivers trying to stay onto the outside. Looks like Fody cleared himself in front of Scott Crump. Scott Crump trying to get down underneath him, as well as the 93 is going to make contact with Scott Crump. And there's a spin right behind him, a couple. There's actually 2 crashes back there, 2 different spins going on. One in the top 10 and one a little bit further out of the top 10, all happening at one time. See what happens here. Looks like the 07, 24, 01. There's a reason why we only do one truck race a season, and that's because it takes about a whole season to get these trucks back together again after doing one of these, because there is not a clean truck in sight. Can only afford to do one of these races.
Oh man. So I think was it the wreck with Hardcastle, because he spun out of turn number 4, and I'm not sure if that is what triggered the yellow instead of the 3 behind them. I think you got a tap right here from the 91, yeah. And then I don't know, it might have just both been simultaneous wrecks, but
they both happen in unison, just at different parts of the track, just so happen. So be interested to see where they give the EOL to, or not the EOL, but the fault to for that wreck there. But looks like we're going to be going back green, so they don't have too much time to really be worrying about it right now, as it looks like R.C. Anderson once again is going to get out himself a decent lead. We'll see if anyone has anything for R.C. Anderson. So we have, looks like Matthew Weeks just got into the wall a little bit, but also great battling for second and third place right there, as it has been tough going for these drivers. They have been battling hard. Whoever is in second trying to get to the outside. The 03 gets into the wall. Scott Crump had to check up. And the 97 now trying to see if he can be able to work his way around. I don't know how the 03 is still out front in front of those drivers, but Scott Crump.
He's going to take him 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide going turn 3 and 4. Fody,
this
big slide
he
job.
make that move work. Oh, he made it work.
That is not going to make Scott Crump very happy. Scott Crump coming back.
He tried it.
He tried to spin it. I said he wasn't going to be happy. It showed right there he was not. He wanted to get a little bit of payback for that slide job. As I stated, the runs are coming, and you're going to try to make the moves however you can. But what they have to worry about is that the cautions will come back out, and they're going to stack right up next to each other again. So you can't make too many people angry there, but Fody now from the back of the field up to second. See if he's going to be able to make any kind of run of R.C. Anderson. He has a little bit of damage. As we stated, caution is back out to clump these drivers back up again. Looks like a little bit of a wreck going down the back straightaway with some of the back runners back there.
The 05 gets into the 16. Then collects the 93.
Tom Bourne, Robert Hill. I believe that is Cash James in the 93.
Oh, sideways. Oh, man. Almost something you would see in Rocket League. These drivers and trucks going all which way, bouncing off each other and flipping over. All they need is a little ball out there to try to hit. We don't need to give them any more things to hit out there, but looks like a few drivers going down into pit road, so a lot of drivers going to have to try to fix some damage here. As I can't imagine everyone's got a full RPM set with them.
Unless you're R.C. Anderson, I believe.
Unless if you're R.C. Anderson, yeah. He's just counting the laps down at this point. Well, now we got to wonder if Fody pissed off too many people getting up to the front and this is going to collect back up to him. Oh, as you see, the 83 didn't really have anywhere to go. Yeah,
that truck says it's a ghost. Why didn't he go right through it?
Yeah. And not the same type of ghost, doesn't look like it, but it looks like we will be going back green. We're down quite a bit of trucks now. So we're hoping that means that the racing up front is just going to get even better, as we won't have nearly as many cautions. But we'll have to see. Fody did not get this jump he needed to clear himself to the high side. So we'll allow the 63 to jump to the outside of him. They're playing with fire with all these moves they're making. Eventually, I feel we may see a big pileup at the front of the field. It's been kind of been back, not back, but yet to see one really accumulate from the front of the field yet. But with the slide jumps that they're making and how tight the racing has been, it is bound to happen at this point.
Oh man, if Scott Crump gets back up to that 40, that's going to be some fire. Absolutely, it's a big if, because that 40 truck is very quick.
He's blinking too. He's in and out. What makes it worse is you can't tell where he slides jumps yet.
Oh.
So you got to be watching out for Scott Crump right now. But yeah, if he gets back up there, I think he may have something to say to Fody. Right now, he is losing position, stuck onto the bottom lane.
RC Enerson is he's run perfect. I haven't seen him hit the wall once.
He may save this truck for another race at this point because, yeah, as you stated, he's just been perfect out there. As you're on board with him, trying to get an idea of what it takes to be this good at Eldora and the trucks, and it's just effortless with the steering wheel. It doesn't look like he overcorrects too much. Just puts the steering wheel into it just enough and just lets the throttle to where he needs it. You don't see a bobble whatsoever when he drives it. That's for sure. It's darn near perfect with how he's driving out there. Now out to almost a 7/10 of a second lead already.
I could argue that he has more pace in that truck, and
yeah, why overdo it?
Absolutely.
Why damage it? Right now, I mean, he's putting that inches from the wall, and just perfectly getting it around the turn. So, yeah, RC Anderson just showing just dominance out here in a dirt race. Something I didn't expect to see when I was going over all the drivers here in practice. I just didn't see RC Anderson having this much of a pace over the rest of the field, as he's already out to a second lead over the rest of the field already. Well, we are down to 29 laps to go, as there's a good battle for fourth and fifth right there. Looks like the 97 trying to make the inside lane work, trying to get around the 03. Looks like he does. 03 had to correct it a little bit, gave enough room for the 97 to be able to clear in front of him. 97 now going to try to see if he can get to work on the driver in front of him, as the caution is back out. Here's some angry drivers on chat, so we can only imagine that there is some contact between a couple drivers.
There's Robert Hill in chat, very, very upset. Yeah, he's looking like he's blown up from that. Wow.
Yeah, Scott Crump is hit hard, very hard for Scott Crump, and the 05 as well. As looks like both of those drivers may end up being done for the night. Yeah, Robert Jr. just stating that he didn't see him because Scott Crump was blinking in and out, and when he blinked back in, he was already in front of him.
Slides back up front. There was a lane there. If maybe Crump, I'm not sure. Because it is really tough to brake and get the car completely stopped right away. But yeah, I could see the argument from Robert's side, but also I could see an argument for Crump's side based on the conditions of the track and how hard it is to actually come to a complete stop so quick.
Well, it looks like we're going to be going back green. It's going to be a 25-lap race to the end of this. We're going to see if anyone has anything for RC Anderson, or if they even have a truck left for RC Anderson, enough to put any kind of challenge here. Green flag back out. RC Anderson gets himself out to a pretty decent jump once again. And once again, he just makes it look effortless as he is starting to gap already around. Looks like caution already back out. Oh, a 5-6 truck crash in the middle of the turn. 5 or 6 trucks about mid-pack on back, all collected up into that one. Looks like some overcorrection. It looks like Weeks may have overcorrected right in front of the field there. Collects into it and looks like turns the 12 around. And it's just been piled on from there. Oh, the 5 almost jumps over Matthew Weeks' truck as well. Boy, howdy. We'll see once again here. Alec Ballvance. You'll see him jump over the hood of Matthew Weeks a little bit. Nowhere for him to go as he gets pushed right back into the wreck once again. At this point, just make these things the rally trucks. I've seen more trucks going in the air than I think I've seen in some rally truck races.
Still 23, or now 22 to go. Anything can happen. So
anything can happen, especially around in that top 10 area. 22 laps. These may not even be the top 10 that we see finish in the top 10 before the end of this. It is so chaotic and so many cars wrecked. Some cars that maybe not got hit as hard just are now further back to the field. Now are going to have to work their way up. So it's this constant battle of drivers that are faster or maybe have less damage, working their way up towards the front, past some with more damage. So it's just I don't feel confident that this is going to be the last caution, nor do I feel any confidence for any of the drivers other than maybe RC Anderson with his lead that can still be able to finish in the top 10 just with how things have been going.
This is interesting. So RC has chosen the bottom for, I believe, the first time all night.
That is very odd. That is very odd. I wonder if he forgot to choose.
Or does he like to just shake things up a little bit? He still gets good launch.
As long as he doesn't go up the racetrack, no, he doesn't. So now he can clear himself. You can't clear yourself until you pass the start-finish line, but does not get the run or the jump on the field like we've seen. But the 63, unable to make anything of it, almost chopped in front of Fody there. Looks like we'll have a 3-wide battle for third. Fody up to the outside. It's 03.91 onto the inside of Fody. Still going in from 3 all the way into turns 1 and 2. Still good battling there as Fody does clear himself now.
I don't think RC does that again if we get another yellow, because that put them right on his back bumper through 1 and 2, whereas before he had a couple truck length lead over everybody else. So that gives them, that really gave the 63 an opportunity there to maybe give him a bump and get him out of shape, maybe in the wall. And make a pass.
What it takes too. That might be the only way you can be able to make any kind of run in RC is you're going to have to push him outside of his comfort zone, because comfort zone is all he's been in tonight. Just perfect right there against the wall. And right now he doesn't have as big of a lead as he's had, but we're not really seeing the 63 being able to capitalize on this little better restart that he found himself in. So RC Anderson still out front with 16 laps to go, and it looks like 63, 40 in second and third right now. Still 19 drivers on the lead lap. Still quite a few trucks still out there, but we are seeing a little bit of spacing starting to gather between all these trucks right now. As I say that, one truck into the wall pretty hard now is battling back there for, I believe, the 5th position. Alec Ballvance, he's still getting involved, still making contact. So 03 and the 97 is making contact in both turns there. So a lot of contact being made on the racetrack. but still going green, still going straight as here we come back around for 13 laps left to go in this race. It's going by very quickly.
Well, I'm sure. I'm looking throughout the field right now. Everybody seems really spread out at the moment. The 90 truck of Scott Crump is on track still. I think we got a message that he was retired from the race for blinking.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm not sure how.
Go down and park it.
I'm not sure how that will go over with the admins. We'll have to follow that throughout the rest of the race, if that happens at all, or post race.
Ooh, another car hitting the wall pretty hard. The 07 of Joshua Hodges, I believe, hit the wall really hard. No, not the 07, maybe right in front of him there. One truck slammed the wall, almost lost him, but these drivers are really pushing it. They see it 10 laps to go. Joshua Hodges right now is trying to make it pass, and does on the 12 there for the 8th position. Still good side-by-side battling between those two and the top 10. See this.
Caution.
Caution is out. Late caution here with 10 laps left to go. There is a caution. See what happened here. 24 a little sideways in front of him. 03 overcorrects it. Right in front of Alec Baldwin's. And slams the inside wall pretty hard there too.
Hard hit. You don't see those hard hits at Eldora ever, but that was a hard. Those walls are not safe for barriers. That's straight concrete down there. Yeah,
they both got pretty hard hits from that. I believe they were both able to get back going before they went a lap down, but yeah, unfortunately for both of them, they're going to find themselves near at the back of the field here late in this race. It's going to be hard for them to walk out of here with a decent finish. Well, Fody finds himself in third. We saw him putting a lot of pressure on Roll there in the 63. But yeah, as far as what we've seen so far, I'm not sure, unless R.C. Anderson decides to take the inside lane again, what it's going to take for these drivers to get around him. They're just, at this point, their trucks are so badly damaged from the front of the field to the back of the field. They ain't a truck with a straight fender, spoiler, hood on them. All of them with tons of damage so far.
Not a single truck is clean besides our leader, and I might argue that his truck might not be the cleanest after this restart either.
Well, we'll have to see here. They're going to be lining them back to go again. We will have a 6 lap to the finish if we don't see another caution here. So 6 laps to decide it. See if anyone has anything for the dominance that we've seen R.C. Anderson have tonight. As they go around turns 3, coming back around to turn 4 to get the green flag. Pace truck will be coming down now, and it will be on R.C. Anderson. He does decide to take the outside lane. Green flag is out, gets out to a very decent sized lead once again, as you see the drivers starting to chop their way up to the high side. 63 did a really good job of being able to make sure he got to the outside. You see contact with Fody for that's 4th place, 3rd place there, as they're still 3 wide, trying to be able to maneuver around here. R.C. Anderson does have some competition now. 63 is onto the back bumper of R.C. Anderson for the lead. This is the closest we've seen anyone get to him. Hits the wall, but stays in the throttle. As R.C. Anderson's going to have a car looking to the inside. Is he going to clear him?
The crossover.
R.C. Anderson back to the outside. Almost contact.
Once again.
Yes, side job from the 63 in front of R.C. Anderson. The only competition R.C. Anderson has had. It's here late in the run. They're making contact down the back straightaway as they're still making contact into third.
They're about to the wall.
R.C. Anderson puts 63 right into the wall there. Is he going to have any kind of retaliation going into here? Slides it in once again. R.C. Anderson.
Now they're in the wall.
No clean truck here tonight. They will battle it out. 3 laps to go as they are still side by side. Going into turn 3 and 4. R.C. Anderson clears himself, but once again, we're seeing this checkered pattern of drivers fighting each other. Contact, 2 laps to go. Now the 63 has a decent sized lead over R.C. Anderson, but continues to make contact with the wall. Caution!
Caution!
Will be out! Oh no! I was losing breath and losing oxygen, and it was starting to mess up my words as I could not get them out fast enough because of how hard these drivers were racing up here. And wow, that really changed the whole dynamic of this race. As you see, it looks like the 30 I don't know who, I think that's the 01. Both drivers in the top 10 running position both get a little bit of damage and lose some position there. Boy,
Wow.
howdy. Yeah. Let's go over that real quickly. That was a classic dirt race right there, where the driver gets the position on another driver, slides it in, but loses all the momentum and speed. So the driver that's running around the high side that now has to get out of the way of the driver sliding up in front of him uses that speed to go around to the inside of him. But you saw it was so hard to make that inside work as contact was made so many times between these two drivers, as R.C. Anderson and the 63 made a lot of contact. About every part of the racetrack they made contact at, but that right there is what gave the 63 a little bit of a gapping and slams the wall a little bit more. R.C. Anderson's going to have another shot at him, but it's going to probably be on the inside, and he's going to have a really good restart to see if he's going to be able to contend with the 63. 63 did not want to see that caution. He wanted it to play out. But it looks like they're going to be lining it back up to go again. Looks like we'll be going green this time by. I'm going to take a little breath real quick.
Oh, RC will send it. I assure you that.
I take a breath, and you take a breath, because here we go. Green flag is going to be out.
Good
It's
jump.
going to be a 2-lap race here to the finish. It looks like the 63 gets out to a very decent start there. R.C. Anderson now having to battle Fody for second place. Fody now clears R.C. Anderson, drops R.C. Anderson to third. Now Fody will have this time and 1 lap to go to be able to see if he has anything for the 63. He's got a little bit too big of a gap there yet. See if he can get around turns 1 and 2 to be able to see if he can be able to pull off a slide job. 63 gets around 1 and 2 perfectly. As here they go, he dives down to the bottom to make sure Fody couldn't get any kind of slide job. Here they come around turn 4. Fody's going to have one more shot at it. He is not able to do it, and the 63 roll is going to come out with a victory tonight. Did the impossible and made a pass for the lead, banging, and did it enough to be able to come home with a victory here. And that surprised everyone, including R.C. Anderson, who had led around 90 laps of the race today. And then with a final round 4 or 5 laps, Jake Roll in the 63, you see there's not a panel on that truck that didn't get beaten up, and a lot of that damage came from the battle to get the lead there. So good win for Jake Roll, doing everything he needed to do to be able to make that bottom lane work enough in his favor to be able to get around R.C. Anderson for the win tonight.
He had to do it. He had to use every bit of truck left he had. I mean, RC was strong all night, and when Jake had the opportunity right there when he got that great run out of turn number 2, that really set it up, and he had to hit RC. Unfortunately, that's what you got to do during dirt racing, though. And with how strong RC was all night, and his ability to just pull out just a small gap right there very quickly, he saw it and he went for it and he made it work. So a great victory for Jake Roll.
Well, that was one of our rookie drivers there, putting it to R.C. Anderson. R.C. Anderson dropped back to third place. We're going to give it over to David here to give you the finishing running order of tonight's race here. And
Okay.
wow, what a race it was.
Okay, of course, our winner, Jake Roll, followed by Tyler Fody, R.C. Anderson, Ethan Stanley, Latham Joyner, Alex Van de Zandt, Josh Hodges, Leighton Norgard, Andrew Hardcastle, and Drake Berry landed at the top 10, followed by Cash James, Cody McCorkle, Alec Balvans, Michael Hosack, Kendall Noah Player, Nathan Mon, Jeff No, Scott Crump in the 18 position. Matthew Weeks, 19th. Michael Klein, Brad Herman, Mark Murphy, Jake Finch, Tom Bourne, Robert Hill Jr., finishing 25th. Wesley Crump, Josh Freed, Sam Batwell. And rounding out the field, Sean Ryan, Shane Therian, David Childhouse, Kynan Jones, Cole Mickrut, and Tyler Dixon. And I'm going to let you guys handle the interviews, and I'll just make sure the visuals look right.
All right, let's see if we can get in R.C. Anderson here. We see him here in the waiting room. As I love to get an idea of what happened there and what went on. R.C. Anderson, you joined us here. Probably not what you would expect you to come in so early to talk to us for a third place finish, 10 laps before the finish of that. What happened there with the last 10 laps? It looked like it got physical, and all but punches were thrown as you raced really hard, and unfortunately lost a few positions at the end of the race. Can you give us an idea of just what went down there? What in your point of view?
I mean, I feel like when you look at it, I'm racing for a championship where he really, really wants to win this race, and that's okay. I was willing to put up the fight, but once it got to the fact that we're completely next to each other, side by side in the wall, there's no point in battling that and crashing out. So just take the third place or second place, whatever I could salvage. If he wants to win, he could take the win, which is okay. I still got third. It's still good for the points. I know Tyler finished second, so that doesn't help me the most in the points because he's a big competitor, especially at the mile and a halves and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe you'll see a bit of retaliation at another race. You never know. But yeah, I was willing to take the third if he wanted to win that bad.
Well, third place you did come in, but overall, probably the truck of the field for the majority of the race here. Did not see it coming. I know how your road course prowess is, and you're good at a lot of racetracks where tire strategy is kind of like the tire wears, where it comes down to deciding a victor. Those tracks I know you're really good at. I did not know you were that good of a dirt racer. Did you put some laps in, or is there something about dirt racing that equivalates to road course racing? Because you were just perfect against the wall there. Just not really going over the threshold and staying right up there against the wall for the majority of the race, which made it so difficult for anyone to have any type of run at you.
Yeah, I did the full practice. I knew with the dirt. I mean, I was pretty good at Bristol dirt until I got taken out somehow from like a top 3 spot. So I knew I was going to be fine here for the qualifying and being up front. But what really helped me keep the lead the entire time was just starting on pole for every restart. The restarts were super key. I mean, you allow that person to get stuck on the bottom, and now your fourth place guy that's following you on the restart ends up getting the outside, and they end up side by side. So it gives you a gap. I don't think I had the strongest car. I think Tyler Fody, he had the strongest run. If he would have got out front, I don't think anybody would have been able to touch him at all. So I think I just got lucky on being up front and being able to get the jump on those restarts and have them battle behind me. That's what gave me the gap. And I was just trying not to hit the wall, trying to do that. I think we would have been smooth sailing. I think Jake grabbed the wall on one of those to start the whole crossover sequence. They're warning us about the wall riding stuff, which it did help if you were able to use it the right way. I was trying to stay off of it, but yeah, overall, I'll take P3 for a dirt race. Normally I end up in the wall 10 laps into these, so I'll take P3.
Good points finish for you as the series is going on. There's 11 races, 4 races down, so very good points run for you for tonight. We want to go ahead and let you do your shout outs before we let you go. Give all your sponsors and thank yous out there, of course, and overall good finish tonight.
Yeah, of course, you guys up here in the booth, man, you guys do an awesome job. Watching these replays is really good, and I know you guys aren't professional announcers or anything like that, but you guys do a really good job, and it's fun to watch these back. Chad, who runs the league, he did an awesome job on the off track tonight for a lot of people, and then obviously Rayco Machine and Engineering Group, they're on all my cars for this season. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Good finish tonight, RC, and we look forward to seeing you again, especially in the truck series, as we go to a road course where I feel we'll probably be talking about you once again.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's tough. I mean, some people come in as road course ringers with me, and it makes it makes it a pretty hard battle. I feel like a lot of people have caught up over the years or over the seasons to where I'm not just a one shot on the road course. I actually have some people that compete a lot, and it makes the top 3 finish usually pretty interesting.
Well, we'll see how that plays out for you. Overall, good finish, and have a good night.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, that was our third place finisher. We got our second place finisher, Tyler Fody. R.C. Anderson said that you were the fastest truck out there, he believed. What? Because we saw you from being spun out to having to work your way up through the field to when you got stuck in there in that second place spot and having to restart on the bottom. It was so hard to be able to get any kind of runs going because there were so many restarts that kept on having to force you to battle for that second place. What would it have taken for you to be able to take it to R.C. Anderson to be able to battle for that win before Jake was able to overall take over the victory and take over the lead at the end?
Yeah, just a green run, really. We kept getting these 10 to 15 lappers, but I'd always end up on the wrong lane on the restart, and then was having to fight for half of that run just to try and get in position. I think RC noticed that too, because every time he would take the top, and then I'd get up there to where I'd be fourth or something, then he'd take the bottom, and then I'd be third, then he'd go back to the top. So he knew what he was doing there, but props to him. I do think I had pretty good race pace compared to RC if I had just gotten clear, like I said, but we didn't have the runs, and then I got a bunch of damage too midway point through that, so that kind of hurt us a little. But even still, we had a shot there at the end. Watching RC and Jake go back and forth was pretty wild. I haven't seen it, obviously, from the spectator view yet, but I'm sure that probably looked pretty cool. Yeah, just needed a few more laps, I think, on that last run if it wasn't a green-white checker, because I was closing in. But props to him and RC for putting on a good battle.
He also mentioned that he expects well, I don't think you're running for points because you're a past champion, correct?
Yeah, no, just here and there.
Okay. Yeah, he was worried about you for points and everything, but I don't think he knew that you weren't running for points. But overall, a good finish here tonight for a dirt race that we don't get to do too often. But is this kind of like, are you expected to come up for like some of these road courses, or is it only the tracks that you feel like that you necessarily can come and win at?
Well, that, and also I got to show up for the road courses so RC doesn't just have another snoozer with Van de Sant or something like that. I do genuinely like the road courses with the trucks and the dirt races, just kind of the oddball tracks. I don't know if I'm going to be running any of just the straight up ovals, but tracks like this and Tsukuba that are coming up are just fun to me. So that's where I'll probably end up running just for that fact alone, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get on RC and Van de Sant's pace for the road course, make it a three-way battle.
Absolutely. Well, good second place finish. We'll give it back over to you for you to do your thank yous and shout outs.
Yeah, no, just Kendall Noah player threw together my scheme last second again, so shout out to him and you guys for putting on the broadcast. I run the Sunday nights for fun, so it's I had fun tonight, and that's all I could ask for.
Well, make sure you fix your paint scheme because all we got was a white paint scheme.
That's what it was, just plain white scheme. Yeah.
That was a hard one for Kendall to put together for you for sure. So,
yeah.
Well, good finish for hopefully someone sponsor the man. He needs to get something on the car. Okay, well, good finish overall for you, and we look forward to seeing you at the road course next week.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's our second place finisher, Tyler Fody. Let's get up our race winner here. Our race winner, Jake Rawle here, came home tonight's victory, showed what it took to get the lead, showed what it took to get the spot over R.C. Anderson, and overall just showed what kind of tenacity it was Jake was going to have tonight to be able to do it, and does. Good, hard battling for the lead overall, and you come home tonight's victor. Overall, Jake, what was your run through the night and your idea of how it was going to play out? Did it all work out to how you planned, or was it just kind of throw it in there and see what happens?
Yeah, it didn't start great. absolutely botched the qualifying attempt, so I started like way back in the field, like 28th or something like that. So when we started, I was like, all right, just got to make it through the wrecks that will happen, because I feel like typically with the trucks or any stock car on dirt, there's just a lot of yellows right away. And there was one, the first yellow was like right in front of me, and someone either got turned back down the track avoiding the wreck, or just didn't hold his brakes, so he rolled back into me, and I was like, oh great, it's like lap 5 or whatever, and got some damage, but everything felt fine, and just kind of methodically and everything, just got my way through the field up to the front. And then, like you said, that battle with RC was a blast there. The last about 10 laps or so, it was a ton of fun with him.
Well, I will tell you this, and David will back me up on this. I love drama, and R.C. Anderson said maybe there's a chance he pays you back later on in the season. He was running for points, but he definitely wanted. I'm just kind of opening up the doors there that there may be payback, but overall, we love to see it. We love to see the hard battle there, and great finish for the victory. We want to let you do your shout outs. And also, I just wanted to find out, does that worry you at all? I mean, are you out here, you don't care if you make enemies, you just want to go out and get the victories when you can?
No, after you guys interviewed him, he was back in the same channel as myself. We kind of talked it over, just said we had a ton of fun, and I told him, I was like, look, I was just trying to race you. I knew you've been really fast everywhere else we've been, so I know I'm going to be running with you. For the championship, things like that, other race wins. So I was just trying to, have a good time with it. Obviously on dirt, you're gonna hit doors, things like that. There was one moment where I thought we were both gonna be wrecked or whatever. We both kind of entered high through 3 and 4, and I was like, uh-oh, this could be it. But kind of made it through. I mean, like him and I said, we were throwing crossover sliders back to one another like 3 or 4 corners in a row. So it was a ton of blast with him. He was obviously really, really fast at Phoenix earlier this season, so I know he'll be up front. But yeah, I don't think there's any drama. It's just good dirt track racing. So we'll see. I mean, if he wants to pay me back, that's up to him. It is what it is. It's in his hands, but I feel like he won't. So not too worried about it. But just got to thank everyone on Eons Motorsports, all my teammates, Brad Herman, Nathan Mon, Jeff No, obviously Michael York, and Stan Carathian for letting me race for them here in this series, and glad to be talking to you guys again. You guys do a good job on the broadcast, so can't wait to see what the road course is going to be like next week at Tsukuba.
Absolutely. We'll have David crop out the part and just kind of have it down when I asked you, are you worried about him? And we'll just make sure it has just the point where you said you're not worried about him at all. We'll
Love it.
I'll lip read a couple other things in there to add into it, but we love the drama, so we hope to see the battling continue between you two. Love to see it in the road course next week, and see if you have anything for R.C. Anderson and some of those other guys that we know very well in this series as our chargers for the race win for a road course. But overall, Jake, congratulations for the victory on something that a lot of us maybe had written off as an R.C. Anderson win. You proved a lot of people wrong tonight. So overall, congratulations, Jake. It's hard to do that in this series. So we hope to see you prove a little bit more people wrong for the rest of the season, and see if you can make your way into being able to race for a championship and overall be a truck champion at the end of the season.
I appreciate it. Looking forward to the road course. I'm a lot better on those than dirt, so I had no practice going into tonight. So I'll take my chances a lot more at Tsukuba. So I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, everyone in this league's been awesome so far. Really great racing. So looking forward to future battles down the road.
Well, we look forward to watching for you as well. We'll keep an eye out. Overall, good victory, and we'll see you again, Jake.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
That was your tonight's winner here at the Memory Lanes Eldora Dirt Derby for the Smokin Gobbler Truck Series. Harrison, do you have any final words for anybody? This was a lot crazier of a race than we probably had projected, especially there near the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like for most of it that RC was just going to walk away with the win, and caution after caution after caution came, and there was finally that one restart where where Jake was able to stay up with him. He got a good. Actually, he started on the bottom on that restart, and he was able to clear himself really well coming out of 2, or just barely. And that really just, that was like the race-winning move there, because if he didn't clear himself, he would have gotten past and had to battle with other drivers instead of, going up there to try to get RCs. So definitely some great drama to end the night. I'm excited for what Tsukuba will bring with these two, and what the rest of the field has.
Well, once again, this is Gerald Campbell, Harrison Taillon, bringing these wonderful shots here today. David Huckleberry doing a fantastic job. As always, we look forward to seeing all of you show up for next week's race at the road course. Other than that, we believe we have some other races this week, and for Monday nights, as well as you see over there, Friday nights and Wednesday nights. But the truck racing will always be here for you for the Smokin' Gobbler Truck Series on Sundays. We hope to see you again. Have a wonderful day, and have a good night. And